Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers today. Guys, we are going to be doing a straight skirt with hip pad. So you can see the pictures previously. So this was what I came up with at the end of the day. So for mine, I actually did not want my hip to be too big and obvious. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. That you can make it however big you want. So these are the fabrics I'm going to be using. That's the fabric for the skirt and then the lining piece. And then I have my foam. So mine, I used a half-inch foam. If you notice, it's not very big. So it depends on what you want. You can make it according to your own preference. Depends on how big you want it to be. So, but you still the same process. The only difference is the foam that you're going to be making use of. So guys, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to use my skirt pattern to draft out, just mark out my long straight skirt. So I don't want to start drafting skirt from the beginning. So I'm just going to cut out my straight skirt. So note, when you are cutting this, depends on how many inches you actually want your hip to be. That's how many inches you want to add to your hip. That is what you are going to cut the fabric. For instance, if my hip is 40 and then I want to add 2 inches to it, my fabric, that's this fabric, now I'm going to make it 42. That's I'll cut my skirt piece 42 inches. Meanwhile, my actual hip is actually 40 inches. So I'm not going to add any allowance. But on the lining, I'm going to cut my lining is going to be my actual hip measurement, which is the 40 inches. So I hope you get that. So your lining is going to be your actual skirt measurement. While your skirt, that's your main fabric, you're going to add the extra hip pad. Okay, that's how many inches you want to pad your hip. So now this is a skirt pattern. We're going to be working with this skirt pattern. It's normal straight skirt pattern. Even if it is a flare skirt, a pencil skirt, whatever skirt, it's still the same process, okay? So the next thing I'm marking at that point, I'll just mark my knee line. You understand? So I'll just mark my knee line that way and then I'll mark it. So for this, you can actually measure your from your waistline. So what I did at this point now, I came up a little bit and then this is my hip line and then this is my waistline. So from that knee line, I came up a little bit with like 2 inches. So that's what I did. So that it will not, the hip pad will not just get to the knee, gone, gone. I hope gone, gone. So I'm just trying to label all of my lines. So that's my knee line, the hip line, and the waistline. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to draft out the front piece. So for the front, I'm going to explain this. For somebody that has normal hip, you are going to use 5 inches. But if it is a plus size, or somebody that is a little bit big, you can use 5.5 inches or 5.25. So that's you come in at that point. And then the next thing from your knee line, that's that knee point, you are going to come up by 2 inches. You understand? So I'm just trying to get the edge. Is actually at the edge. So you come up by 2 inches. You mark the 2 inches here, and then on your waistline at the this edge, you come down by 1.5 inch. So you can see it's a simple process. 1.5 inch at that point. As you come down by 1.5 inch, and then from that point you connect it to that 5 inch point that you came in your hip line, and then you blend it into that 2 inches that you came up from the knee line. So I hope you understand. It's a simple, very simple process. It's not something that is difficult. Just watch it, watch the video again, you will understand. From the knee line, you go up by 2 inches. And then on that hip line, see where that part my hand is, you come in by 5 inches. And then from the waistline you come down by 2 inches and 1.5 inch. So you can see that's all you need for the front pattern. That's how simple this is. The next thing now, we're going to work with the back. The back one is a little bit, it's not difficult. I'm not going to say it's difficult. So these are my line. That's my hip line, and then my waistline, and then my hip line. So this point I'm just trying to rule a line here. That line is going to be for like for my start line. Okay, so from that start line, I'm going to mark my zip allowance, which is 2 inches. Depends on how many inches you're using for your zip allowance. You come in from your allowance point, and then you remember that our knee line, come up by 2 inches also. The same thing we did. And then from your waistline, you are going to mark the under of your butt, that's your butt. You understand? You mark it, the under of the butt, that's after that hip part, the down part of your butt. You mark that line, and then you are just going to rule the line there. So you are going to be making use of it. That's my hip line. This is the under butt, and then that's my knee line. Okay. So let's go again. So you come in by 2 inches from your hip line, and then come in by 2 inches from your knee line. Remember that butt line. From that butt line, you go in by 4 inches. For somebody that is a plus size, you will do 5 inches. Okay. Yes. So you come in by 4 inches, and then from that 2 inches, you connect it to the 4 inches, and then mark it. Okay. So you come back to the waistline, and then you come down by 1.5 inches, just like we did with the front one. And then you connect that line, just mark it to that line, and then mark it to the under butt. Can you see? And then you slope it a little bit down back to that knee line that you came up by 2 inches. So when you do all of this, you are going to see the shape. First of all, you make sure that take a look. That's the good thing of using a pattern. You check it, and then you will see how it looks. You are going to know if your pattern will work nicely, or if it will not work nicely. You will know from your butt. Can you see the picture? It looks like a rounded butt already. Can you see the way it looks? You see the bend. So with this, you will know that you got the hip pad nicely. So I'm going. So from the waist, you come down by 1.5 inches. The hip line, you come to that 2 inches from your zip allowance, and then from the butt line, you come in by 4 inches, then come up by 2 inches from that down part. So I'm just trying to write all of them: 1.5 inch, and here 2 inches. So that's everything you are going to follow. So for this one, you came down by 1.5 inches, you came in by 5 inches, and then came up by 2 inches. So these are all of the dimensions that you actually need for this. So just watch the video again in case you are not getting it. It is a simple process. So after that, this is my foam. I've ironed my hairstay. I used hairstay to wrap it. Just iron it. Like I said, I use half of an inch foam. If you want it bigger, you can make it bigger. So I really did not want my own to be too obvious like that. So that's what I did. So after cutting out the front and the back, this is how it looks. And then the next thing, you are going to stitch it. So you take it to your machine, place them like this. You can see the way I am doing it. You just place them, and then you are going to join the both of them together like this from your machine. So when you join, you are going to have a little bit of parts that you are going to trim. Okay, so let's do that right now. So you can see after stitching, this is how it looks. So I've stitched it. So this extra part, I'm just going to blend it. If you notice, like I said, I used a very flat foam. So you can use any foam, just use the same process. You achieve what you want to achieve. So mine, I really did not want it to be too big. So the next thing we're going to do now, this is my fabric piece. So I've joined the side seam. You understand? So I've joined it on the side seam. So when you are doing this hip pad, you do an inseam finishing. If you don't know how to do an inseam finishing, then you have to do an external padding. So I might show that one in another video. If you want it, you can drop it on the comment section. Let me see. Maybe I'll do that for the external hip pad. So this is my skirt, this is my lining piece. So like I said, your lining is your exact measurement of your skirt. So just add the allowance that you are going to use to join it at that back. So for this, I came down from my allowance, I came down by 2 inches. You understand? You see that first part that I marked. So this line that I wrote now is my hip line. So I'm just going to take my pad like this. You can see I'll place it like this. Make sure the front is to the front, and then the back is to the back part. And then I'm going to open it along that hip line. That's the allowance. So that is why I said don't add any extra inches. This is your normal skirt measurement. So the only allowance you are going to have, there's small allowance for your zip that you use to close it. So that line, you take that same line of your pad, of the hip pad, just stitch it down. You understand? So you secure it. You use your machine, you're just going to sew it down. So after sewing it down, this is how it's going to look. So you see, let me show you guys. See how it looks on the outside. It looks good and it looks okay. So the next thing, you don't want to leave it like this, so you are going to sew it around. There are some people normally tack, but I think I prefer to sew it down. So after sewing everything, you can see how it looks. It looks good and okay. So that is why you need to do an inseam for this. So after everything, I'm going to place the lining and my fabric together. You can see the way I place both of them, and then I'm going to join this. So that's my skirt. I'm going to join it at the two side and then turn it from the down. You understand? So I'll turn it from the down, just the way you turn your normal skirt, and then the only part that is going to remain is the top part. Okay, so that is what I am going to do. After everything, this is how it looks. I'll iron it. So at the end of the day, can you see how it looks on me? So like I said, I did not want a very big hip, so you can do your own. Just choose what you want. And then if you find this video helpful, please like this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. Share this video with your friends and your soul colleagues. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Lots of love from me. Bye bye.